Welcome to the Padded Pedal Room with your host, Mr. DiMarzio. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Padded Pedal Room. My name is Mr. DiMarzio. Now, some of you were asking me why there was no episode last week, and unfortunately, I've been having some computer issues. On a good note is I have upgraded my computer to a much better computer, and we'll give her a shot right now. Probably also noticed that the image quality has improved because now with the new computer that has much better processing capabilities, I'm able to bring up the frame rate on the cameras. So having gotten a new computer, I had to transfer all my recording softwares and softwares that I use for my music. With the spirit of this, I thought maybe I would look over the softwares I use, very quickly look over the DAW that I use, as well as the drum program that I use. We'll mainly focus on the drum program. I think it's something that could be very useful to everybody. So here we go. So basically, you'll see my DAW is running right now. I'm recording the audio in here. The DAW that I use right now, or my DAW of choice right now, is Reaper. I use Reaper for many reasons. Reaper is very inexpensive. It is a very powerful open source software, so it is continuously updated. You have one version, it's got everything in it, and that's it. What's nice about Reaper is that you can do the same thing 10 different ways. It makes it easier because you may find one way of doing something easier for you, and whatever works. I mean, you can customize it to your needs. You can customize, there's a lot of skins and different things you can download to have your look change or whatnot. It's very customizable. You can customize it to your needs. Now, if we look at the cost aspect of it, you can download Reaper for free. You can use it for free. It works. At the end of 60 days, they recommend that you decide if you want to use it or not and support them. So a license for personal use is $60 and a business license is $200, and we're talking US dollars. However, if you don't purchase the license, the program will still work. It's just you're going to get an annoying pop-up every time you open it. But I suggest you purchase a license to support the program. If it's something you're going to use and you want to support them to be able to have them support the product so you can continue to use it, I think it's a good thing. So enough about the DAW now. Let's take a look at what I use for drum program. I use MT Power Drum Kit 2. I opened it already here. All you got to do is open your virtual instrument and it'll pop open. When you open it, you have the choice of opening it on multi-tracks, so you can have each drum piece on an individual track, or you can open it in one track, which is what I prefer to do. So here it is. I'll explain to you though why I prefer it on one track. If you look down here, this is the drum kit. If you look down here, you got mixer mode, and in mixer mode, you already have it split on different tracks within the program itself. So you can adjust your pan for each individual item. You can adjust your levels. You can adjust the compressions on each one of them. So already within the program itself, you have a lot of customizability. So you can tweak your sound straight here and just have one track or a stereo track basically in your DAW, let's say. So that's what I like about this. Now let's go back to the drum kit here basically. So if you notice here, the drum kit, if you mouse over, you can hit the pieces and you'll hear it. So that's basically it. So you can mouse over and hit the pieces. That's one way to control it. Another way to control it is, let's see if you can see this here. So if you get a MIDI controller like this one here, this is the Korg Nano Key 2. You can use this. It's what I use when I'm manually controlling it. So you'll see So it's pretty easy to control. And what I mainly use it with is this here, which I think it's very useful for everybody. You got your grooves. So if you go up here, you'll see here you got your styles. Within your styles, you got many different types of within the style you'll have many different types of beats and whatnot. So you got your 4/4 grooves, which are good from 60 BPMs to 150 BPMs. Now, to adjust your BPMs, you're basically adjusting your BPMs within your DAW. So for example, let's say in my DAW I have it adjusted at 120 BPMs. Then the drums here in the tests area will also be at 120. And when you drag and drop it into your song, it will be at 120 BPMs, for example. So you can adjust your BPMs in your DAW. So here you got your intros. In your 4/4 grooves, you got intros, you got your 8th notes, 16th notes, closed hat, open hats, you got your bell, rides, crashes, and toms and whatnot. You got the same thing in a 4/4 groove here, which you can use with 160 to 250 BPMs. You see the list here, it's the same thing. And then you go down here, you got your 4/4 shuffles, and then you got your 6/8 beats. So that's basically everything. Now, for example, if you go into your intros, you'll see here in the groove window, you got all the different intros for your 4/4 grooves from 60 to 150 BPMs. And this instance here, you'll notice that there are 16 different intros. So for example, we can give it a listen here. In this window, you can actually sample them right in there. So I like that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it, drag it, and drop it in my composer. So you can compose it within the composer and then drag the whole beat into your DAW, or you can take segment by segment and just piece it into your DAW. So that works too. I've done both, and both work fine. So let's say we do our intro, and let's say we want a standard beat here. So let's go to an 8th closed hat. Let's sample this one here. Let's audition it. Now you notice when I double clicked on it, the fills window populated. So I'll explain to you what that is. Basically, That's basically, see, we open our groove. Well, let's take this groove down here. We're going to put it down here. So just so you know, the intro is 1 bar. And the groove here that we just took is 3 bars. You can adjust your bars up here. You got all the different types of bars. If you want 1 bar up to 7 bars or 8 bars or whatnot, you can do that. So the fills window that populated, see, you got a bunch of fills here. Let's see how many we got here. For this one, you got 23 fills. So for groove 1, you have 23 different fills you can choose from. And you can audition it in this window as well. So let's audition this one. So we'll take that there. So basically, you have all the different fills for that particular groove that they're made because they start on the note to it and everything. It really fits very well. So you can mix and match with different ones, but these ones are specifically made for that groove. So if you hit on groove 2, for example, or groove 10, for example, let's see here, we go to groove 10, well, then you got your fills for groove 10. So let's say we'll drag groove 10 in here, and we'll take a fill from over here. So now let's listen to the whole thing. Now, let's do like a chorus part, for example. We'll grab a ride here with a snare ghost. And then let's just go back. We'll just take a standard beat. Let's just end this here. We'll just take this standard groove 1, and we'll take one last fill from over here just to fill this up. So now let's listen to our composition here. Now I wanted to point out another thing here. is that if you notice on the left here, you have velocity. So that's how the drum is being hit. So you can, now we're on normal. If we go to soft, you'll notice that the drum got a little bit softer. And if we go to heavy, you got a heavier beat. So it's pretty easy to piece it together, and it's quite customizable. You'll notice is you know, if you want a part that's soft, let's say during the verse, and you want to get it heavier and whatnot, you can adjust the velocities. There's so much you can do with this. You know, even if there's parts, like I've even done this, if there's some parts, let's say, for example, you want to do some sort of bridge or whatnot, you can use some manual parts in there with it, or you program it too in Reaper. There's, you can actually, I'm not sure how to do it, but you can actually program the beats and whatnot. So there's a lot of ways of manipulating it and doing it. Now, for example, if we wanted to take this beat, we can just drag and drop it into our DAW, or we can, you know, we could have pieced it slowly within the DAW itself. So I think this is a pretty powerful program. Now I'm going to give you just a little sample. I'm going to give you just a little sample of it within context so that you can hear it with a full band. I'll just put you a little snippet of one of my songs so you can hear it in context. So here you go. I'll just let you listen to it, and we'll come right back. That was empty power drums in context within my song. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it gives you an idea of how it sounds with a full band and whatnot. I think that the drums sound pretty realistic. I mean, these are acoustic drums that were recorded in a studio with very high quality mics and everything. So, I mean, it does have a very good quality sound. It does not sound like a drum machine, in my opinion. I'm happy with the program, and I think that if you decide to use this program, you can download it for free and test it. It will work even if you do not purchase a license. However, if you're using the program and satisfied with it, I would recommend that you purchase a license. Also, if you do not purchase a license, you will always have a nasty pop-up every time you open the program. So it's very inexpensive. I would recommend it. I mean, it's $9 US or $12 Canadian, and for what it does, I think that it's a fair price. I think it's worth it. I hope this video helped out anybody who's looking to record music and was looking for a drum program that's pretty simplistic, inexpensive, but sounds pretty good. So if you guys have any questions on Reaper or MT Power Drums, feel free to leave a comment, question, and it'll be my pleasure to answer you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time.